Okay, here we are in Angel's Haven. This is my first attempt to make a video just talking to the camera, and I'm going to tell you some things about going tiny that I found out in the last 3 weeks of living here. So I've been here since December 18th. The first week was a little unrealistic, I guess you would say, because I had company. My friend Rick drove out with me, and he was here for 2-3 days, and then my son arrived, and we had Christmas, and that was all very exciting. And so it really wasn't until my son went back to Chicago after Christmas that I settled down and started really finding out what it was like to live in a tiny house. There have been a few things that have gone wrong. I discovered that there's no exhaust fan in the bathroom, which might be a problem with moisture, and so that has to be addressed. Some of the grout and wood joints and things like that in the bathroom are not really very well sealed, so that has to be done. Small things like that, hopefully small, and I've got plans to fix those. But I also did some pretty exciting things. There is a handyman here in the park where I'm living, and he built a deck, which I'll show you in another video, and that was pretty exciting. We put a rail on the guest loft, and I made that rail. Well, I didn't make it, the handyman made it out of 100-year-old pine from my house in Kansas City, and that was really cool. I had planned that, and we bought that wood here when we came, and I really liked the way that turned out. I'll do another video tour when I got the other rail done. We'll have a rail done also in my writing loft out of the same wood, which has been under the tiny house for the last 3 or 4 days. It's been raining off and on here. I'm hoping it's fine. I've checked it. It looks dry. So that's sort of been exciting. I've met people in the park. They seem really nice. There's all kinds of people living here. There are people in RVs, people in tiny houses, people in campers, and they live here for different reasons, and they all seem to like it. And I've explored the area a little bit. We found a brew room, a tap room, I guess, in Ileton, and they have fresh kombucha, which I really like. And that lady that runs it is from Oakland, and so I've gotten to know her a little bit. And so I've just been exploring the area, and I've had my first visitor. My friend Jim Carrier and his wife and son came today, and that was really cool. So I've had a lot of the newness that you have in any house where you live, and some interesting aspects that are just because I'm in a tiny house. If you followed my story at all, you know I have a composting toilet, so I have learned how to use that. I've used one in the past, so I wasn't really daunted by the prospect, but it's turned out that it's actually too heavy for me to easily manipulate when I have to go to change the fill. I also tried to use a kind of fill called coconut fiber. That turned out to be an unmitigated disaster. You have to pre-moisten it, and I think I made it too moist, so that was not really very pleasant. It's supposed to be completely composted when you changed it, and it wasn't. It wasn't really gross or anything, but it was too wet, probably because I moistened it too much. I don't really know, but I went and ordered some pea moss, and I filled it with that. That'll be a little easier. The toilet itself weighs about 30 pounds, and it turned out that it's really heavy for me as a disabled person to use. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do about that, but it's not unpleasant to use. It doesn't smell. It's not gross to me, at least. I've used one in the past, but changing it is going to be a little hard because of my disability. So that was an intriguing thing to learn about. What else? Oh, my washer dryer combo unit. You can hear it in the background. The drain pump went out. I think it might have been going out for a long time. I'm sorry I didn't figure it out when I was back in Kansas City, but I ordered a new part on the internet. I found a guy up in Brentwood, which is maybe 40 miles from here. The first thing he did when he came in was start taking pictures, because apparently he's always wanted to live in a tiny house. So that was kind of cool. Got it fixed, trying to catch up on laundry. I was a little worried that I might go stir crazy in a small space and not really having a job. I still have clients back in Kansas City, but I'm not really working. I have been doing some work on their cases, but I don't have a day-to-day job right here in California. Turns out I don't care. I'm not wealthy. I don't have enough money that I can go without working, so I am looking for a job, but I'm doing a lot of writing, I'm doing a lot of reading. A lot of people ask me how I planned my tiny house. How I planned my tiny house kind of goes into how I'm adjusting to it. Because what I did was I walked around my house for a month, my house in Kansas City, and I thought about all the things in the house that I actually used, and all the things in the house that I didn't use, and spaces in the house that I used, and spaces in the house that I didn't use. And I took those spaces and I just condensed them. And I got rid of the parts of the house that I didn't use, and the things in the house that I didn't use, and I kept the things that I did. So I have a kitchen. It's not very big, but I don't need a very big kitchen. I don't have a dishwasher. I never used my dishwasher, except on holidays. So it's a tiny house. I can't have a big holiday. So I have a bathroom, I have a sleeping area, I have a bed for guests to sleep in, and I have my desk and a rocking chair. And that's what I used. So that's what I put in the tiny house. Well, because those are the things that I used at home in Kansas City, and those are things here, turns out I'm perfectly happy here. I am looking for a job. Hopefully I'll find one. I'm working on my Kansas City cases. I have maybe 10 or 11 left. Most of them are guardian ad litem cases. I think I have 3 or 4 private clients. I care about them. I'll still work them. I'm going back in 2 weeks. I'll be there for 4 or 5 days. I'll work on my cases. But most of what I'm trying to do is create a tiny life in my tiny house.